Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Intro to Programming. This is Lesson 2, String Manipulation. All right, so we're going to learn about inputs real quick. You can get an input just by telling it input, and then if you want to prompt the user to give you input, then you would say something like, you would put in your question, like what is your name, and run it. It'll ask us what is your name. You can type something in, but it's not going to actually do anything. So it's a little easier if you put all of that inside of a variable, and then you can reference the variable later at later times. So like in this case, we're taking this input, what is your favorite color, and we're putting it inside this variable called color. Then we're printing that variable, which is going to prompt the user, what is your favorite color? And then we're going to print really, and then the same color with the first character capitalized is my favorite color too. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to hide that since we don't need it right now. All right, so let's save and run. What is your favorite color? Orange. Really, orange is my favorite color too. Okay, so that's how you get an input from the user. Inputs are always strings, even if you put in, here, let's run this again. If I put in just a number here, it will treat it as a string. And there are things you can do to convert it from a string back into a number if you need to do some math or something with it. So anyway, that's input. Let's talk about line breaks real quick in the print function. If I were to print hello world and then I wanted to print it again, or we could even, there we go. I want to change this to like I have it down here. So if we wanted to print hello world, how are you today, on two separate lines, we could do that with two print statements, but we can also accomplish the same thing by, there we go, by using this \n character or command here. So what this will do is it'll print hello world, then it'll go to a new line, hence the n, and then how are you today? So let's go ahead and save that and run it. There we go. All right, let's say you want to find the length of a string. So here we have a string, hello world, and we want to find the length of it. The easiest way is to put it in the len function. Let's say len, say hi, and that'll give you the length. Now, if we want to actually be able to see it, we need to put that inside of a print statement. So you're going to print len, say hi, and let's go ahead and save that and run it. And we see the length down here is 11. So there we go. And so one way you can think of this, and this will make possibly more sense when we get into lists in lesson 4, but for now, if you think of a character, or sorry, a string as an array or a list of characters, then we can do certain operations on them. So let's say we wanted to, for instance, find just the first letter of the string. We would just print a the string that we're referencing, and then next to it in square brackets, you would put a 0 because computers start counting from the 0th position. They don't start at 1, they start at 0. So in this case, if let's say we want to print this, so we're going to comment that out and we're going to do that. And if we print this, you see down here, we get our H for hello world. All right. Another thing you can do, you can count backwards from the end of the string. So if you start at -1, that will be at the very end of the string. So it'll start here at this D, and then as you go back -2, -3, -4, -5, it'll go back the other way to the left when you're getting your characters. So if we run this, we get the D from Hello World. All right. And let's say we wanted to print a range. So we want to print all of hello, but we don't want to print world. So we can tell it, so from position 0 to position 5, go ahead and print. Now the thing is with ranges is that you need to, on the ending, you need to add one more to the end of the range that you're looking for than what you need. So in Hello World, we're going to actually tell it to stop at the space, even though it actually only stops at the D. So let's go ahead and print this real quick. And there you go. You see it says hello. And there we go. But there's a simpler way to do this. You can print, let's say you know the character that you want to print to, but you just want it from the first character to that character. You don't have to print the 0, or you don't have to put the 0 in the range. So what you can do is, for your range, you can just put the colon and then the last number that you're looking for, if you want to print from the first part of the string. The same is true if you want to print from the 6th character. In this case, it'll be the start of the word world, and then to the end of the string, you also don't have to put a number in there for the range if you're just printing to the end. You just print 6 and colon, and that's it. And it will go ahead and print. So let's go ahead and print these real quick, and you'll see we have hello, which was this one, and world, which was this one. All right. If I were to print this, what do you think it would print out? You can go on back up to your string up here, which is hello world. And if you start counting -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, we should get world. There we go. All right, so sometimes you will want to, whoops, excuse me. There we go. Sometimes you will want to find a string within another string. This is handy when searching through URLs or through HTML from a web page that you want to process. You can strip out all of the HTML tags and you can just get to the content. It's really handy. So what you can do, let's say we want to find the word world. You just tell it print, and in this case we're going to say hi is the string that we're in, that we're looking through, and then we want to find, so say hi dot find, and then whatever string we're looking for inside of here. And you can tell it'll go to character 6. It tells us starting at character 6, or yeah, character 6 is where this string starts. So, what if there's multiple though of them in a word and you don't want to find you want to find after the first one. Let's say you want to find the second one. Well, what you could do is okay. So first O, that's our first variable here. We're going to say hi find an O. So this will find the first O. Then another thing you can do with the find function is if you can, after you tell it what you're looking for, you can tell it to start at a specific position within the string. So in this case, in the bottom row here, we're saying say hi dot find, and we want to find O, but we're going to start at the position where the first O was plus 1, so we don't get that. We don't get the first O again. So if we print this, you'll see we get 7 because hello, and then there's a O in world, and that is at character 7. So there we go. And sometimes you might want to replace a string. So that might be something that comes up now and again. So you can tell it to replace this word with the following word over here. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see down here, prints out hello universe. All right, so strings are immutable though. So that means you can't change them. Once you've set a string, that string is set. And if you make any modifications, it doesn't write to the original string that you set. What it does is it creates a new string out of parts of your existing string. So let's take a look at this here, splitting strings. Sometimes this might be useful, especially if, let's say, you're processing something from a CSV and you can use split to split everything into their own columns and rows and such. So in this case, we're going to print say hi and then split, and then the character that we want it to split along. In this case, we're splitting along the space in the middle between hello and world. So if we go ahead and print that, you'll see we get a list that prints hello and world as two separate strings. All right, so let's take a look at the exercise for this week, or for this lesson rather. So you're going to define a variable with the string value of race car, and then print out just the word car by printing out the correct range of that variable. So if you need to refer back to when we did ranges, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's your homework. So go ahead and do that, submit it, I'll grade it, and get it back to you. All right, real quick before we end the video, I want to go over the last assignment before the lesson 2 assignment. So for lesson 1, you were supposed to create a variable with your name and then create a print statement that says hello plus your name. So it should look something similar to this. So if we save that and run it, there we go. We can see it just prints out hello, my name. So if your code is not doing that for whatever reason, let me know and we will figure out what's going on. But there we go. All right, I'll catch you guys in lesson 3. See you then.